What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, coming at you from the Petro in Colby, Kansas. One of my favorite Petros. You know, you go in there, they got the Qdoba, they got the little Chinese restaurant, all that different kind of stuff. So it's one of my favorite places to be. And you could almost always find parking here no matter what time of day or night. I had a question from a driver with Prime. Happy with Prime, thinking about making the switch over to lease. He's been leasing he's been a company driver for a little over a year. He wanted to get his feet wet. Now thinking about coming to the lease side. And he had a question about home time. Now, I know that Prime's policy is, you basically get 1 day off for every week out as a company driver. I'm not sure how set in stone they are on that, but that is kind of the policy and kind of what he's been seeing. So he was asking, how do I get home for home time, and how much home time can I take when I'm at home? So let's kind of start at the second part of that. You know, the time that I take off when I'm at home or when you're at home is based on whatever your financial situation is. You know what I'm saying? I've been out longer this little trip than I usually am, just because of things on my own personal side, waiting for another truck to come in, things like that. But usually I do 5 weeks out and then take anywhere from 11 to 14 days at home. Now, I'm able to do that because, I have 20 cents a mile. I have 20 cents a mile going into my emergency fund. But whether it's going into Prime's emergency fund or a fund of your own, I'm set as far as time off goes. So I could take off 3 weeks, a month, 2 months. Well, I can't take that long. You have to be active for a certain period of time. But your time off is going to be based on your finances, really. I can only speak about my dispatcher. Some other dispatchers might, try to rush you back out on the road. And I've done a video where I said my dispatchers ask me when I'm ready to reload when I'm at home, but he's not pressuring me. He's just wondering, you know what I'm saying? But basically take off as much time as you can financially withstand. As far as how long it takes for my dispatcher to get me home, listen, first of all, I never ever have any. Well, one time I had a hard date I wanted to be back home by. Other than that, I just tell him, you know what, get me home around this date, and usually he gets me home before that date happens. The only hard date that I had was my anniversary on October 10th, and he got me home in time for that. Now, I just told my dispatcher like a few days ago, listen, I'm wore out, get me home. Now I'm sitting in Mississippi. I really don't mess with Mississippi that much, but I don't really consider that to be a major shipping hub. But boom, he gave me the 10-4. I'll get you headed that way. I got a load from somewhere south of Mississippi up to somewhere north of Mississippi, almost by Memphis. Picked me up a load of cat litter, and boom, it's going right out to the Walmart, Loveland, Colorado. So from the time I told him to get me home to him get me on the load to go home was 2 loads. One to set me up and one to get me there. So I've never had an issue with it. So, I guess that answers that question. So now that I answered those questions, what's up? What am I going to be doing? Well, I'm just going to be chilling. I know I did a video a while back saying, you know, plan out your home time. And I've kind of thought about that a little bit, but I'm so wore out now. I'm so wore out, I can't even plan for my time off. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like you young bucks out there. And you know what? You young bucks, I give all the respect for. I think one of the reasons why this job is so easy for me is that I'm older. I can't even imagine doing this job that some of you guys are doing in your 20s. I don't think mentally I would have been able to wrap my head around all that stuff. And, you know, I think age has kind of mellowed me out and made it to where a lot of things that would upset me, and I have done some videos where I was upset, but I've just mellowed out. And you know, at this point in my life, you know, it's not a financial struggle, so I'm not really worried about that as much as maybe somebody in their 20s. But I just look at some of the situations that I've been put in that probably would have stressed me out when I was 20, and I'm just like, man, I don't think I could have done this back in the day. So for you young guys out there, all props due, because I probably couldn't have done it. Another shout out to you trainers out there. I know I'm going off topic. You know, I've already gone past my questions, but you trainers out there, you guys are the real heroes. I mean, and I'm not joking around about that. I've thought about getting back into training. I won't be doing that anytime soon, but Prime has given me so much that I almost feel like it's an obligation for me to do it. Or, well, that's the reason I did it. I'm still struggling on if I'm going to do it in the future, just because, you know, all these, you know, this truck, the next truck I'm getting, those are going to be lease purchase trucks, and putting all them miles on a lease purchase truck, I'm not sure that's the direction I want to go. But all you trainers out there, and I'm not saying, you know, sometimes people, you know, I was in the Marines, sometimes people say thank you for your service and all that kind of stuff, and you know, it is what it is as far as that goes. But when I tell you that if you're training at Prime, you are real heroes, and I'm just telling you, you are giving up a lot. And hopefully some of you guys that are coming to Prime or in TNT training or PSD going into TNT understand that it's not just as easy as my trainer's coming to pick me up and, you know, whatever it is. They are sacrificing a lot. Now there's some financial rewards that's coming their direction as well, but you have to think about the sacrifices they're giving up. So I'm sitting outside of Colorado right now. Like I said, Colby, Kansas. Wasn't able to get the load all the way in. I only had an hour left on my clock and 270 miles to go, so I figured might as well stop here. It's a place I like. I'm going to kind of wake up when I wake up. The load can get there anytime on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not too excited about getting up. Like, you know, my clock's going to come back around 11 p.m. I'll probably start driving around 2 or 3. Really not in that big of a rush to get out there. But we got that. I will be going live. My son has bought me a little something special. He knows it's been a while since I've had a chance to partake in some of the things I like to partake in. So we'll be getting some of that in. Probably do some video. Hopefully I could do a video for my cooking channel. I have neglected that channel so bad, but hopefully I can at least get 2 of those videos in for that channel. Other than that, we're just going to be chilling. Few videos I want to do. I know somebody had asked about buying a home, being a truck driver. I still have that on my mind. I may stop in and see my old boss at the mortgage place and have him do it. If not, I might do that on my own. It'd be good to get another perspective of me in a different setting. So I might do that, may not. But that's about it. Before I get done, and if you hung with me this far, you deserve a medal. But I was at this truck stop in Mississippi, Monticello, whatever. And sometimes there's these moments that make you have faith in humanity. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of this stuff that's going on politically, all this kind of stuff, you kind of see like a little bit of a fracture, and that could be along political lines or racial lines, things like that. But I'm at this. First of all, let me preface this before I get into it. I'm from Denver, and before I became a truck driver, if you even mentioned anything about the South, I was not having it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that Southern hospitality comes with too many strings attached. All I could think about was Confederate flags. And, when I was in the Marine Corps, I saw some KKK or Ku Klux Klan people out there that were so casual about it. They had KKK on their t-shirt. So I've never been a fan of the South until recently. And I think some misconceptions I've had were based on some of those things back in the day and, just not being familiar with it. But I was down at this little off-brand truck stop, and it seemed like it was the center hub. You know what I'm saying? Probably not the place to go if you actually need sleep on a Saturday or Friday night, whatever. It was a Saturday night. All the little, 18 to 24-year-olds, that was where they were posting up, had all their little cars. They're out there hanging out, assembling their crew, I think, to go party wherever they're going to party later. But I'd noticed that there was a good, mix of people in this crew. All these kids and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You have black, white. Well, that's all I saw. I didn't see no Mexicans or Chinese, but they probably would have been welcome too. Probably just don't live down there. But that kind of, I noticed that, and then I go inside. Actually, I went inside first, but I saw the old well, first of all, this is the kind of place. This was a gas station where people actually sat down and ate there. You know what I'm saying? This was it's a great truck stop, but you go in there and you see the, old, white couple eating, and they're sitting right next to the, young black kids about to go out partying, and it was just it restored my faith in humanity seeing that again. I mean, I've kind of, with all this stuff kind of going on lately, it's kind of fractured my sense of humanity. But that right there, in a place that I would have least expected it, or one of the least expected, any of those southern states I had predisposed beliefs on, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina, all those states down there. I'd admit it, before I became a truck driver, you would not have got me down there or even think that that was a place that I would even want to go. And from the cashiers to just watching people, how they interacted, from the guy with the camouflage, everything and all that, opening up the door. I mean, sometimes people take that for granted. And I'm going to say that some people think that that's how it always is. For some of us other people, we realize that's not always how it is. And that, even small things like that, somebody that you would least expect to open your door, open a door to a place, something like that, is sometimes can be big. So I need to acknowledge that. And it's one of those things that I've always tried to do anyway, is to kind of overcompensate, you know what I'm saying, to represent. But Yeah, big up to Mississippi. And that wasn't the only place. I went to another place. I forget where I went in Mississippi again. It might have been before that. But anyway, those things like that really restore my faith. Anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. I know I went all off topic, but I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Stay around for No Hippie Trucking and Transportation Home Edition. That's where we get a little bit more wild and off the cuff. Anyway, I'll check you out later.